2021 Lighthouse Classic. We have the MRA Patriots out of Madison, Mississippi. Coach, if you don't care, introduce yourself and your players for us.
I'm Richard Duease. I've been the head coach at MRA for 40 years. This is one of our junior players, Josh Hubbard. And this is also a junior player. What's your name?
Harrison Alexander.
Yeah, I forgot after you missed those 2 free throws, but that's all right. Harrison Alexander. 2 great players for us.
Coach, I'm going to start out with you here. You just said it yourself. You've been around the game a long time. What is it like for you to be able to come participate? I know you've been in plenty of big events. What's it like for you to be able to bring your guys to participate in an event like this?
Look, I'm blown away with the tournament. I've heard about it all my life. This is the first time we've ever been invited. And when we got here, I was amazed. Y'all done a great job, great teams here, and made it fun for them.
Coach, even though I missed the first few minutes of your game because I was up here going through the same thing with the previous 2 teams, y'all jumped up early on CPA, and then they kind of got back in it there. What was the point where you kind of thought maybe, not that you lost control, but that when they got back in it kind of stayed with you? What was the point that you thought turned that?
Well, I really think we have a really good team. We don't have all of our pieces in place yet. We have football players that's not practiced with us or have 1 practice. We had 6 of those guys. But these guys have been carrying the load, and I felt like, each game that we played, except one, we just jumped out and just took over. Against Gulfport, we had them 19 in the second quarter. So we've had opportunities, but we also have a lull. Once we get to that point, we have a tendency to relax, and that's what gets you. That relaxing will get you. These guys know that, so that's what we have to overcome.
Mr. Hubbard, let me ask you. Obviously, both of y'all played, I thought, really good ball games tonight. Obviously, some of the shots didn't want to go down. So did you have some shots, both of you today, that especially the second half, that you thought that was going in, that it didn't, it bounced off? And is that frustrating for you? I mean, being such a scorer, what you average about 30 games, something like that. Is that frustrating to you as a player, as a scorer, when the shots just don't fall?
It can be, but I don't let it get to my head. I just gotta worry about getting back on defense and make sure the next shot goes in.
You're kind of like a quarterback, just got to have a short memory, don't you? So, where do you get that from? Where does that come from?
It comes from my dad.
Yeah. What about you?
A little bit frustrating, but just got to go on to the next shot. It'll go in next time. Just got to keep thinking like that.
And I'm going to stir up a hornet's nest with that last possession there. Should have been y'all's, I think. I know one play is not a game make. You get a lot of other opportunities, but
10 seconds left.
The ball should have been in y'all's hands probably instead of theirs. Who would have gotten the ball had it been in y'all's hands?
We've gone flat with him. Just let him take it to the rim, and hopefully if he misses, this guy's going to rebound.
Yeah.
That's what we do. And you have bad calls all game, so you can't blame one. But that was pretty bad.
I saw you giving the referee a little piece of
I didn't even tell him what I really thought.
I didn't think you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
And this is for everybody. I know in the first half y'all did jump out. I think it was 8-0. I know you said y'all had a little problem, so go ahead and put your foot on the net. But what would you contribute to that? Because I see Josh, you went 4 for 19. But Harrison did stuff in the second half and carried a little bit of that load when you weren't hitting. But what do you think they did that caused you guys a lot of problems?
What's number 21's name?
21, Kobe Wright.
Yeah, he got in a little shooting practice during the game. He had about 2 or 3 threes. They got him momentum here. Once you have that, it's pretty hard to stop. So we had to call the timeout, recontribute, final plan to adjust to.
And what about second half when number 2 got going? Did y'all see him on the scout report? He just came out of nowhere for y'all.
Well, he's been a big scorer for them.
Really?
Yes. First 2 games, he's had 19 and 21.
And Josh, I know I had watched a little bit of the Biloxi game on film. Is the double team causing you problems, or because I'm sure you're gonna see a lot of double teams for the rest of the season?
No, it's not really a problem. We just have to adjust to it. You know, we hadn't really seen it a lot last year. Or this is our first time really seeing it, so we'll get it fixed in practice.
Harrison, I want to come to you and Coach Duease on this. You know, many years it's been the old battle, MHSA, MAIS. Harrison, I want to start with you here. How good is MAIS this year?
I think it's pretty good. It's got some good competition in it. Like Greenville Christian, they're going to be a tough team. They picked up a couple guys. They're looking a little good. So I feel like the competition is good this year.
Coach Duease, I want to step out to you with the next one about the difference between MHSA and the MAIS. You know, you guys, you're not scared to play the public schools. What do you think is the difference between the two levels of competition?
Well, you know, I think the MAIS has 4 or 5 teams that are really good and compete. Like Prep beat Oxford this weekend, and they beat Cleveland Central. You know, JA's won 2 or 3 big games. They're playing MUS tonight over there, so I'll be interested to see how they do. But we have 4 or 5 teams. The big deal is we don't have enough. I think our top 4 or 5 teams can play with pretty much everybody. Really do. And you know, on a given night, I think any of them can beat somebody. But I've always been a believer, and I really was the first one in our association. I pushed to play public schools. I want to play public schools. This year's schedule, we have more public school games than we do private school games. So I don't care about my record. Record does not mean it. What I care about is that last week in February. That's all I care about. And for these guys, that's something they can cherish and remember for the rest of their lives. That's my thing.
Josh, gonna come to you on this here. You know, there's a lot of chatter. I know you hear it. Who's better, you or Deshaun? I'm not gonna ask you who's better and put you on the spot. Just compare your game and his, okay?
I think I'm a better shooter than Deshaun. Deshaun's obviously been playing longer than me, but yeah, I've been looking up Deshaun since day one. So it's always fun to be and expected to be compared to him, you know, as a guard. So yeah, he's one heck of a player too. He's very explosive.
Well, why don't you tell them about the preseason game we had with Callaway last year?
Heard about it.
Yeah, we beat him last year in our place in the summer. Was it in the summer?
No, it was right before season.
Yeah, right before the season.
You had about what, 35? I heard, or something like that.
He had 35. Deshaun had 23. So Deshaun's good now. Don't get me wrong, he's good. But it was a good game.
All right, a question for Hubbard and Harrison. Can you guys just describe y'all game, like describe yourself as a player? Because I think we can describe it as much as we can, but you know yourself better than we do. So just describe yourself for us.
I feel like I'm a good all-around player. Like I can shoot, I can handle the ball, I can finish. So I feel like everything is coming together and everything's getting better. So like I'm a good all-around player.
With me, I think I have a high IQ for the game. You know, I can see things on the floor that other people can't see in the stands or anything. So, and we have a lot of good shooters. So we build trust and chemistry. It's hard to beat us.
It's a good thing. And where's Sam? What's wrong with Sam?
He hurt his ankle.
Okay, I was like, they missing Sam.
Oh yeah, we're missing.
That's
We're missing him.
that's what hurt us.
Yeah, I was like, they missing Sam.
He's that shooter we need right
Thanks, guys.
now. Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.